There are innumerable stories of seekers who have chanted the Hanuman Chalisa to overcome so many problems in life. But can the Hanuman Chalisa help us overcome terminal illnesses? The words of Hanuman Chalisa are not given in vain. What do we have to do to attain this level? Sankata se Hanuman chudave. When we have Hanuman Ji on our side, we have no reason to be afraid. The Hanuman Chalisa is one of the most profound and powerful texts that we can find in all of Sanatan Vedic Dharma. In fact, the great spiritual master Neem Karoli Baba said that each chaupai of the Hanuman Chalisa is a Maha Mantra. Mantra means that which helps us transcend the mind. Mananat trayate iti mantra. Imagine a greater version of a mantra, a Maha Mantra. That is what each line of the Hanuman Chalisa represents. The Hanuman Chalisa helps us navigate all sorts of challenges, whether they are professional, personal, relationship based. But sometimes people wonder, can Hanuman Chalisa actually help me improve my health? The text itself says, Nase rog hare sab pira, japat nirantar hanumat bira, sankat te Hanuman chudave, man krama vachan dhyan jo lave. All diseases, pain and suffering disappear on reciting ceaselessly Hanuman Ji's name. Those who remember Hanuman Ji in thought, word and deed are rescued from all crises in life. Before we proceed, if you like this sort of content, do hit the subscribe button. This is a small step for you, but helps us in our service to Sanatan Vedic Dharma. When the Hanuman Chalisa says, Nase rog, it clearly means that our diseases are destroyed. There are innumerable stories of seekers who have chanted the Hanuman Chalisa to overcome so many problems in life. I know of one such seeker who had such severe back problem, they were bound in bed for days at end. They couldn't move, they couldn't sit, they couldn't stand, they couldn't walk around. All that they could do was simply lie in bed. And in that state, they lay in bed and chanted the Hanuman Chalisa over and over again with full faith. And today, not only can they move, but they are the head of a global organization and travel all over the world. Not only does it destroy Nase Rog, physical ailments, but also our emotional and mental challenges. Chanting the Hanuman Chalisa is one of the best ways to overcome fear and anxiety. And if these are challenges that you face, then definitely take some time at least in chanting and see the effect that it will have. One question that someone asks, Nase Rog is fine, but can the Hanuman Chalisa help us overcome terminal illnesses? Well, this is where the second half of that sutra comes into use. Nase Rog hare sab pida. Hare means to take away. Sab, all. Pida means suffering. Not only does Hanuman Chalisa destroy our illnesses, but it takes away our suffering. And this is a very important point, because we may physically be ill, but one of the things that a spiritual process equips us with is the strength to face that. And if we have that strength to face the illness, then we don't suffer as a result. One phenomenal example of this is Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi, who was a great saint who lived in Arunachalam in the early 20th century. Bhagwan had attained self-realization at the young age of 16 and dedicated his whole life to being a living example of what a spiritual master is. In 1948, they discovered a small cancer lump near his left elbow, and through surgery they removed it. Unfortunately, a few months later, another lump returned, and then another, and then another. On investigating, they found out that Sri Ramana Maharishi had osteosarcoma, which is a very painful cancer of the bone. Well, what does this tell us? Firstly, it tells us that if we have a certain karmic balance with which we have come into this world, we have to go through that no matter what. Even great masters are not spared of the karmic balance that they come to this world with. But we also learn in those situations we can choose how we respond. And Sri Ramana Maharishi went through this entire situation to give us an example of Hare Sab Pida. All of our sufferings are gone. When the doctors told Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi they should cut off his arm to prevent the spread of cancer, Bhagwan's response was, there is no need for alarm. The body itself is a disease. Why mutilate it? Bhagwan here comes across as so detached, even though his body is suffering a phenomenal amount of pain. As the cancer spread, his body weakened and his end was near. Still, Ramana Maharishi did not stop giving people darshan. And even though his devotees wanted him to use his phenomenal siddhis to be able to cure himself of cancer, Bhagwan himself was completely detached from this body. He said, they take this body to be Bhagwan and attribute suffering to him. What a pity. They are despondent that Bhagwan will leave them and go away. Where can he go and how? Such was the level of detachment that Sri Ramana Maharishi had. But Hanuman Chalisa says, Nase rog hare sab pida. So we can understand hare sab pida. But is it wrong to say Nase rog? According to our Shastras, Nase rog is also correct. Because the one greatest rog that we can have in our Shastras is called Bhava rog. Bhava rog is the false notion that I am this body. Bhava rog is the cause of all the other rogs that we suffer in our life. Their root is this illness that says I am this body and not undying spirit within. And when the Hanuman Chalisa says Nase rog hare sab pida, not only can we ease all of our suffering, but we can overcome this Bhava rog, which is the root cause of any and every illness that we will suffer. The words of Hanuman Chalisa are not given in vain. What do we have to do to attain this level? Japata nirantara Hanumat bida. Unceasingly remember, recall, chant the name of the Lord. This could be our Ishta Devata, or we have the tool of the Hanuman Chalisa itself. Crises are an inevitable part of life. We will all suffer crises, but when we have Hanuman Ji on our side, we have no reason to be afraid. There's a beautiful story of a great spiritualist who used to walk on the beach with God. And as they walked on the beach, there would be two sets of footprints in the sand. But in moments of crises, this spiritualist discovered there was just one. And so he went to God and said, God, why have you abandoned me in my crises? There used to be two sets of footprints, but now there is just one. And God said to him, my son, I haven't abandoned you. Those footprints that you see are my footprints as I carry you. Sankat se Hanuman chudave, mana krama vachana dhyana jolave. These messages are aligned not because some poet used them as reference, but these messages across our different Shastras are aligned because they speak to one truth. One truth in different texts, one truth that the masters live in their life, and one truth that we as seekers have access to. All that we have to do is become available to that truth. How do we become available to that truth? By chanting the Hanuman Chalisa. There are many versions of the Hanuman Chalisa online. Make sure you find one that resonates and start chanting. That is my only ask. Start chanting and see the impact. Nase roga hare sab pida. We don't need to start chanting when we are ill. We don't need to start chanting when we are in sankat. Let's start chanting now so that we create the capacity in our hearts to deal with any illness, with any challenge, with any crises, and make ourselves available for the help that Hanuman Ji has promised he will give us. My name is Om Dhumatkar. It has been fantastic sharing this depth of wisdom from the Hanuman Chalisa with you. If you like this video, then please do share it with your friends and family. And we have many such recorded videos on our channel to make sure that you check all of those out as well. If you've liked this video, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more such content on Vedic Shastra. I will see you again very soon. Namaste.